Alright, looks like we were further than halfway. Great. Oop. Drop Beo's water. Good morning, friends and family. Mixed Up Souls here. CJ, Brandee, and Beo. We are just getting up on Thursday morning. So this is day number 4. We're supposed to do 5 days, but we're actually going to cut a little bit short. We're just running low on supplies, and we're also on vacation. So we want to actually go enjoy it a little bit. So I think we're going to go find a place to go pony up and maybe clamp, or maybe go home and then go back out. But we want to enjoy the evening. We learned a lot over these last 4 days. We learned stuff that we need, stuff that we don't need. We kind of understood a little bit more about what it's going to take to do this. So I think we're ready for it. As far as the pre-preparation, on the trail is a completely different thing, but we won't be able to replicate that until we actually get on the trail. So it's not going to be like, oh, you know, you read a book and you're ready to go. No, it's actually getting on the trail and doing it. There's nothing that can really imitate doing a 12 to 15 mile day, being hungry and thirsty and putting up a tent and putting it down and doing it over and over again every single day. And so this was certainly good for us to learn what we need as far as our equipment, what we need as far as supplies and gear, but the mental fortitude is going to take to do this. We're not going to know that until we actually do it. So we are preparing ourselves for the physical by getting ourselves in shape. We've got another 6 months to do that. We've only got another 3 days later this winter where we'll go out and do, so that way we can prepare ourselves for the winter hike. This was more preparing us for the summer hike, but we still need to get out there and be out in the cold. So this is all brand new for us. We're all learning. Beo's learning, Brandee's learning, I'm learning, but this was eye-opening and certainly good for us, I think, to see this. So Brandee's over there with Beo on Lookout Point, looking out of the valley. I'm going to go join her before we head out and do our trek down the trail. When we get on the trail, I'll get back on and give the exact details of what our itinerary is for today. But it's a beautiful morning on the top of Hazeltop Mountain, and we'll see you out on the trail. Whoa. All right. Get my balance there before I fall off. It's not as bad as everybody thinks, though. It's bruised myself before I actually fell off. Alright, so it's Wednesday, August 25th. We have completed 3 days of hiking. We have packed up all of our gear. Brandee is finishing up the little things for her bag, and then we're going to actually head out. So we're leaving from Hazeltop Mountain, which is in the Shenandoah Park. All of this is in the Shenandoah Park. And we're going to hike south on the Appalachian Trail. We are on mile 922 on the Appalachian Trail, and we're going all the way down to mile 912. It's like 912.4 or whatever it is, which is where the South River picnic area. So we have almost 10 miles to go, combined with the fact that we're going to be stopping at the Lewis Mountain Campground, which we stopped at the other day. That's about a little less than halfway, so about 4 miles. That way we can resupply us some water, recharge our batteries before we get back on the trail again, because it's right there off the Appalachian Trail, and then we head south again from there back to the car. So that is the plan for today. We're looking at around 10 miles. The weather is going to be absolutely perfect again today. We're looking at temps in the upper 70s, maybe low 80s. You can hear the wind, so there's a good breeze going through. It's actually a little chilly right now, but by the time you get hiking and start moving, it's gonna be hot and sweaty again. So not too concerned about being lightly dressed right now. I do have a jacket. I've switched my shirt out because the other camping shirt is completely soaked through with sweat, which is pretty gross. But as you can see, we have an incredible view. Over here to the left is Elkton. Right in this area is the town of Shenandoah. And then, I forget where, we got another town over there. And then you can just see just the rolling hills. It's the Shenandoah Mountains. And you also got the George Washington National Forest, which is the next group of mountains over, and the Jefferson Forest. So beautiful area over here. Certainly so much to do here at the Shenandoah National Park. We will definitely be back. We'll do some more training here. We'll probably do our winter training here. We'll do our 3 days here to get ready for our winter hike. But that is it. Mixed Up Souls. We'll see you on the trail. We'll share some more videos with you. But last day, headed out. Alright, walking down the AT. And as you can see, I got my poles swiping out in front of me. The trail doesn't require me to use poles right now, but it does require me to swipe away all these spider webs. I mean, it is constant. Yesterday I was holding the camera out front of me and walked into a web apparently, and I looked down at my camera and there was a huge spider just crawling all over my mic. So, pretty funny. Also alarming because I don't like spiders. But I guess that's one of those things that you're just going to get used to as you're hiking. It's just, you're going to have spider webs on me. Apparently, I had like a spider web hanging off my beard yesterday. It must have been for a while. I didn't even feel it until Brandee pointed it out to me and pulled it off my face. So, this is the areas where you typically see the most spiders, where it's a little overgrown on both sides. So, if you don't like spiders, this is what you got to do. And swipe your poles out in front of you to get rid of webs. Alright, we're 2 miles into our almost 10 miles that we're doing today. We are low on water. And we're on our first uphill portion of the day. The trip today is mostly downhill. I think we have a total of 700 feet uphill and like over 1,100 feet downhill. So it's just a roller coaster. You know, normally wouldn't complain, but as I said, we are running low on water. So have a little bit. I'm gonna stop here when we're 2 miles out from the place where we can get water. Drink up and then keep going. Try to break it up evenly. But I'm dying. Not literally, but this is not the fun part of the day. So I'm gonna check out and check back in a little bit.
So this really like all those kids.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a drop off here. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Beo being rather
Adventurous.
courageous. I wish she wouldn't be. I think right up this
We got people coming.
face over here, there's some
Beo, sit.
rocks where you can scramble up.
Beo, sit. Sit.
Yeah, this is it. I thought they were uphill, so thank God. Victory! We got to the Lewis Mountain campground. Time to go refuel, get some water. Snickers bar, chill out for a little bit, and then get back on the trail to the car. Good day so far. Beautiful day. Met a few hikers along the way, but still a butt kick, and the AT is no joke. All right, check back in a minute.
You're not sharing that information.
So what's so cool about this is the amount of work that goes into having a trail. I mean, if you think about the Appalachian Trail is 2,200 miles, and that means it has to be maintained, and it's maintained through certain trail clubs in different areas. So in this area we have
The Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. You're actually members of it.
Yes, we are members of the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. We make a donation every year. Eventually we'll get to the part.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yep. We'll get to the part of where we actually are volunteering out here and helping to do things like this to help maintain these trails. As you can imagine, you know, trees and flowers and bugs and things would overrun this if it wasn't taken care of. So this trail is clearly very well maintained. And what's pretty cool is if you notice that we keep coming up on these little spots here where it almost looks like a runaway ramp that you see on the highways for the trucks. And that's just so that when the water's running downhill, it doesn't flood the trail. So the water will run off to wherever it is. So if you see here, it runs off to the side and essentially down the mountain because we are walking downhill. Which, by the way, if you did not know, walking on trails downhill may suck more than uphill. Uphill definitely takes your breath away and it's strenuous, but downhill kills your knees. So if you have knee problems, downhill is definitely not the fun way to go. But thought we'd share that information with you. It's just, I'm always amazed by the fact that these trails are so well maintained and in such great shape. And it really is because of the amazing volunteers that they have out here. So think about that the next time you're in the woods and you're out hiking. Think about how much work actually goes into it. All right, friends and family. So you've decided that you want to come and join us for a hike and you need to know what kind of shoes to wear? Well, there are some options out there, a ton of options. Brandee has been wearing Vibrams. They're 5 fingers. They're like the shoes that look like gloves for your feet. She wears those for a lot of walking. She did them when she was doing her marathon training. Sorry, car going by. But now she is wearing Ultra Lone Peaks, which are trail runners. And I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. She actually has gaiters on them right now, which help to keep the rocks and other debris from in your shoes. So trail runners are right. So the trail runner is a lighter shoe. The tread is thicker than like a regular running shoe, but it doesn't have all the protection around your foot and your ankle like a boot does. But they're lighter weight, and considering that you're walking, 15, 20 miles a day when you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, lightweight's good. The big downfall to them, they aren't waterproof. So when she comes to a stream crossing or deep enough water, she'll have to switch into her water shoes, and she's actually
I can wear them through when they dry out pretty quick.
right. So that's one option.
My ankle's kind of hurt because I think
Okay, yeah, I mean, we've done just around 30 miles the last few days, and that's good to know. Ankles start to hurt after a while. But I do think after 100, 200 miles, everything starts to hurt. Now for me, I've been wearing boots. It's the first pair of hiking boots I've ever owned. Brandee got them for me last year. To this point, I probably put 70, 80 miles on them. Really? Maybe. But these are the shoes that I'm gonna stick with. Very rarely do you ever find a thing that you love the first time that you try it out. But in this case, I did. These I have are the Salomon X Ultra boots. And these are very comfortable for my feet, which I think is something that you really do have to figure out for yourself. Do you want a shoe that is like Brandee, that is definitely going to be a little bit more comfortable, lightweight, or do you want something like I have, which is going to be a little heavier, but does give you a little bit more protection? And the thing that I love about them is that they're made of Gore-Tex, so they are waterproof, which I don't have to be as concerned. I mean, certainly if water is high enough up over the boot. Are they waterproof or water resistant? They're waterproof. So if the water's high enough, the water will still go down into your shoe, and these take a very long time to dry out. So that is something to consider. But I do feel like I got a little bit better protection. Not really giving ankle support. That's kind of like a myth when it comes to hiking boots, unless you go with something real high. These are not giving me great support, but certainly better than I would have gotten with a trail runner. Now, that's how I feel now. 100 miles into the trail, I might be like, nope, I'm done with these boots. I'm going to try something more lightweight. But for now, these are great. So I give 2 thumbs up to the Salomon X Ultras, and Brandee loves her Ultra Lone Peaks. And we're just gonna keep on hiking. Pretty brutal. Looks like we're only about halfway. Hopefully I'm wrong. To the better. As you see, this is stopped looking like a trail. Oh wow. Wonder if a bear stays in there. Huh? See that? That little hole over here. Right now I'm taping myself walking, obviously. And one of the things that you can't do while you're taping yourself walking, unless I put some type of apparatus on me that allows me to use my GoPro without any hands, I can't use my trekking poles. So typically when I'm filming, I try to do it at a time when the terrain calls for no use of trekking poles. But I do like to use my trekking poles. They definitely take a lot of strain off your knees. They take some weight off of each step if you're using them properly, which, truth be told, not 100% sure if I am. But I will definitely try to make sure that happens before we get on the trail next year. But love using my trekking poles. Currently, I'm using some black diamonds. One of the first things that I bought when we went gear shopping for our first big hike last year when we did Dolly Sods. And gotta tell you, I was a little skeptical at first, but I've come to learn them, love them. Matter of fact, I had the poles at Dolly Sods and still wasn't sure if I was going to use them, and I would say about 5 minutes into the hike I fell down and busted my ass. So I've now am a believer. They've saved me a few times. Doesn't mean you are not going to fall, but certainly helps All right, trail's moving uphill again, so you can hear it in my breathing. I'm gonna focus on this for a little bit.